Perception shapes your reality. And with that, another daily Kaupenjoe where I talk for 10 minutes about random topics, and after 10 minutes, I just cut it off unedited. So, perception shapes your reality. I saw a video by Healthy Gamer GG, Dr. K, once again, by the way, just one of the best channels ever, basically. And he talked about the fact that it is often perception, or the video is named how your perception is destroying your motivation. And he talks at the very beginning about the fact that you can reduce your daily usage of your phone by about 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes up to 30 to 40%, or maybe 50% of the time that you usually spend on your phone by simply putting it to grayscale. And I've done this again. I've actually done this just before I watched the video, which was very interesting that he basically mentioned this. And he said that motivation and also a lot of other stuff, your reality in and of itself, is dependent on your perception, and it could not be more true. Perception is one of those things that we don't. I don't know if we don't care about it or what it is in the modern day, but it is just the truth. When you have a what is the idea? When you put your snacks on the countertops, you're gonna eat more snacks because you see them. If you put the fruit there, you're gonna eat the fruit. If you put the candy and the snacks in the cupboard somewhere where it's like harder to reach, you're gonna go there and it's gonna be harder to eat them, or you're gonna need more energy. This is one of the reasons why I don't have any snacks at home. I know some people are gonna be like, you should have snacks. Listen, do whatever works for you. My snacks are like, something like a waifu Huel drink sometimes, and like a protein drink. They taste absolutely great, by the way. So don't think I'm like these are bad snacks. I actually really like them. However, regardless, that's like my snacks, my version of snacks, let's say. And any other snacks, like any chocolate or any savory or chips or whatever it might be, none of that stuff comes into my house. Usually, because the issue is, as soon as I have that stuff is done in like a day. Okay, if I get a 5 bars of Snickers in like one Snickers package, those 5 bars might survive 1 or 2 days. That's it. Okay, because they're just too good. Okay, I'm gonna continue eating my protein bars in the morning. Those are great because they take a lot of time to eat and they have less calories than one Snickers bar. It's actually insane. And the Snickers bar you can eat I can probably eat a Snickers bar in like, I don't know, 30 seconds. Might be a little bit fast, but a minute without a doubt. Okay, I can definitely eat a Snickers bar in a minute. The protein bar is so dense and it's so, you have to actually chew it for quite a while. If I really have to try a minute, man, it would be rough. It would be rough. It would not be easy because it's not, it's just something different. It has less calories and is better for you. I mean, both of them are probably not going to be great for you, but it's fine. It's going to be okay. But yeah, that's one thing. So the snacks, I am not even having snacks in my house or in my apartment. However, if I really wanted snacks, I could just go to the shop like almost next door. The shop is like 2 minutes away by foot, maybe 1 minute, okay, but probably 2 minutes. But still, the activation energy you need, or basically the height of the craving you need in order for me to put on clothes and put on my shoes and then get out and then go to the store and then get something and then go back is so much higher. Like, you need so much more activation energy in that instance versus you just going to the kitchen and it's like just there on the counter. And that's basically also one of those perceptual things where, listen, if you see something, we are sometimes very simple creatures and we don't want us to be. I think sometimes we're like, no, we're super complicated, and it's like, no, there's complicated stuff in there, but there is also a lot of A follows to B, follows to C, follows to D. I think there's a lot of very, very straightforward things that we just sort of, we over-intellectualize, right? This is why I've said what I've said in the last yap, where I was like, listen, it's like 4 things you need, right? A bit of sunshine, a walk, a hug every day, 8 hours of sleep, 3 liters of water. every day. And that's a really solid foundation. And we sometimes disregard the foundation because it's trivial for some of these tiny optimizations that are just not even the ROI on them. Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of an ROI, but it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like when you're lifting weights and you're like, yeah, I'm taking my 10 grams of creatine every day, and I'm getting my whatever, like 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and you're like, oh, and I'm doing this, and then it's like, okay, how much are you working out? You're like, what do you mean working out? I'm just doing all of the optimal stuff. I don't work out. It's like, all of it is based upon the fact that you're working out. Even if the working out is not optimal, I mean, that doesn't matter that much. But I mean, it can matter. But you know what I mean. If health is your goal, then I mean, whatever. Then you don't need to be optimal. You need to do something that you can do consistently. So that's why it's sometimes very strange that we disregard the trivial stuff, specifically when it comes to, let's say, well-being, right? Like just living well, feeling good, feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, eudaimonia, things like that, where we're just like, no, this could not be it. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you should not use your phone in your bed, and it's like, no one does that. Yeah, and how? So no one does that. Okay, so in other words, everyone uses their phone in the bed. Okay, and how is everyone's mental health? I'm just saying, right? It's not like you don't have to do certain things if you're like, okay, I don't want to do those. But then don't wonder why there's a bad outcome, let's say. Right? You can't if you put your hand on a hot stove, it's gonna hurt. Okay? Just to make it like really obvious in terms of effect and cause and effect. I don't know. I'm just saying. So this is one of those things that's interesting. But going back to the perceptions, they are super, super freaking simple sometimes, where you are so, what would you say? We have a very simple, we have a complicated machine that functions in simple ways sometimes. And I'm not talking about any sort of things where things are going wrong with, like, you know, actual like super mental health afflictions or similar things like that. That professionals have to deal with that. I'm talking about the breadth and big width of the population that are sort of, you know, somewhere within the norm, and where you're like, okay, your perception is going to create reality. So the fact that just by making your phone be grayscale, you can reduce the amount of time you spend on it by 30, 40, 50%, or at least like 30, 40 minutes. Even 30 minutes. You know, this is one of those things where, oh yeah, but it's 30 minutes. Yeah, but guys, that's like 180 hours in a year. You cannot tell me that 180 extra hours in 1 year wouldn't be absolutely amazing. Okay, that's so much time that you could spend on doing whatever, right? It doesn't even matter. I mean, take that time and take a walk. You're gonna have a better life for it, right? Even if you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself now. It's also like one of those things where it's like, we always wish so much more time, but then we don't even use the time we have. There's a great quote from James Allen. That's gonna be the last thing I'm gonna take a look at. Let's take a look. Time. Oh, I think time is too much. Let's just search for James Allen over here. James, I really like James Allen's books. Highly, highly recommended. As a Man Thinketh, unbelievable. Unbelievably great. There's like so many different things. I need to talk about James Allen at some point in one of those yaps. Let's see. It is useless to desire more time if you're already wasting what little you have. I mean, what a goated quote. Just absolutely correct. Just because we're so focused on like, oh, but if only I had more time. But then really though, you're sitting there and you're doing weird stuff. I don't know. Your breaks should be actual breaks, right? Your breaks should be a break from technology. So I talked about this in the last Yadap as well. So it's just a sensible idea. We are nearing the end. I don't exactly remember when the end was. So if we just cut off, then that's going to be that. Yeah, think about this a little bit and